speaking of the blog, our information, particularly on Rubicon. For broker lists, drop us an email to broker@tradersedge4x. These are all the brokers that we like to use with Rubicon. And we'll send out the links to you. Our Forex Auto Alerts signal service, forexautoalerts.com. $1 trial available right now. For $1 you get 5 days. A quick update on that. I keep telling you guys what's happening. We're working on it. Spoke with our Paul, our software guy, today. He's on it right now. So what we're doing is bringing it up to speed with Rubicon. So the signal service, very shortly here, we'll be working with the 30-minute chart of Rubicon, and we'll issue with each signal back to your phone and or email the entry point, the stop loss, and the take profit. So that's coming probably, I would say, by next week. Coaching information, drop me an email, FOConnor@tradersedge4x.com. Follow me on Twitter, Frank O'Connor FX. Just put in Frank O'Connor FX in the Twitter search box and you'll get me. For Paul Watson's Forex Pro Toolkit, which is a trade management tool, go to tradersedge4x.com, look up Forex Pro Toolkit, and if you put in the TEF code, you will get a discount there. Facebook, Francis P. O'Connor. Befriend me at Francis P. O'Connor. And then, very important, Rubicon. Our instructional videos, and there's lots of them on there, guys. RubiconIndicator.blogspot.com. RubiconIndicator.blogspot.com. All the webinars are on there. The links for the webinar, for each webinar, is on there. And the instructional videos on how to trade. You can purchase the indicator, as many of you have, at RubiconIndicator.com. And then finally, don't forget my recommendation. Please read Trading in the Zone, Mark Douglas. I'll leave that there for a moment. I got lots of questions, so let me go back over to the questions. The rules before pulling the trigger, Roy. What I said was, do the drill down. Make sure you've done your drill down starting out on the daily chart. Make sure you got your Fibonacci's on there, that you have your trend lines. Down to the 30-minute, make sure that you're ideally trading with the overall trend. What I mean by that is check the time frames above you, and the more consistent you are with the time frames above you, the higher probability your trade will be. Okay? Now, having said all that, once you've done all that lineup, then you just simply follow Rubicon. Rubicon works by doing the following. Let me come back over here. The candles come through the red line, our spine. We call this red line the spine. The candles break through. The blue aqua line, we call the railroad track, breaks through also. Then Rubicon will automatically, you don't have to do this, mark that spot for you. And then when it breaks through, it'll give you a signal to trade, and at the same time give you a profit target and a stop loss back up here. So that's the process, Roy. Hopefully that makes sense. Let me know if it didn't. Harry, oh great, yeah, great comment. Here's what Harry said. Guys, read the book, Trading in the Zone. Very powerful stuff. What Harry's saying is, Frank teaches us an incredible system, and the book then adds the mental and psychological aspect. Could not have said it better, Harry. Could not agree more. Very, very important, guys. Read Trading in the Zone. David, no. Everything's available on RubiconIndicator.blogspot. Let me bring that up. 1 second. Bear with me, guys. Okay, David, if you just come over here. Sorry, let me get that for you. Where'd it go? Here we are. On the Rubicon Indicator, this is the site, guys. So let's just walk through this for a second. over on the right hand side, watch these 2 videos first and take your time, David, watching them. How to install, well, you've done that obviously. How to trade with the Rubicon. Just spend time with that short video. I think it's 14 minutes, but go over it several times till you're comfortable with the methodology. Underneath that, you have the links to register for the weekly webinars right here, guys, right here. And then the previous webinars, last week's webinar is right there on the left, July, and it'll usually come in 1 to 3 parts. So July the 7th Rubicon webinar, parts 1, 2, and 3. And then underneath that, you have prior webinars, June the 30th, and so on. So lots of information, guys. And then there's older posts available down on the bottom. Okay. So that's, please go to rubiconindicator.blogspot.com. That's it right there, rubiconindicator.blogspot.com. Yeah, one other thing. Our Skynet guys, yes, Harry, we're negotiating with the brokers right now. Paperwork in. We have to filter through all that corporate paperwork, hoping that we're getting your information to you guys early next week. That's, I would think, worst case scenario, mid to late next week at the very latest, Harry. Sorry, that's the signals going off on Rubicon in the background. But I'll let I'll let everybody that's involved with Skynet know. For those in, what am I talking about? Skynet's a professional expert advisor that's we do not sell. We lease it to professional traders. If you want information on Skynet, drop me an email to my email right there, FOConnor@TradersEdge4X. I'll just put in here info on advanced coaching and Skynet. Okay. FOConnor@TradersEdge4X.com. Felix is agreeing with Harry in relation to trading in the zone. Yeah, could not agree more. Good stuff. David, let me show you something. On the Rubicon. Let me remove this. If you're struggling with colors, you can do something else. If you go right-click on your chart, go to Properties, go to Colors, change the background to a dim gray, and then change the grid also to dim gray. Click OK, and it'll brighten up everything. And you'll see your green and your yellows. Some folks have trouble with the green and yellow. You see how that brightens up those colors, and you'll see them easier. Make sense, David? Charts are nuts. I'm just seeing what's happening here on the euro dollar again, guys. Right now, take her down to the 15 minutes. Today, like I said, today has been one crazy ass day. Here we go again, spiking up 50 pips again. Over 40 pips again on a 5-minute chart. Let's look at that. Crazy stuff. So it's down here. Sorry, this is the 15-minute chart. Let's look at it on the 5. Look at this on a 5-minute candle, guys. Down here, it's holding like we looked at the Fibonacci's. It was holding at support and resistance points. Looks like it's going to stay stable for a while. And then next thing, bing, 50 pip, 1 candle, 5-minute chart. Okay. David, if you're not happy with the colors, go back into Properties. Change the background and grid until you are happy. Okay? I'll leave it with the black here. We will probably work on that later, but that's a fix not just for one person. That's a fix for everybody, David. Our software guys are working right now on the Rubicon, on the Skynet, and on the signal service. Once I get that out of the way, I'll come back, and I got a couple of requests from them on Rubicon that we'll work on once I get those things done. But in the meantime, try those other fixes. Go to Properties and play around with the colors. Okay. Yeah, crazy stuff, Ken. Well, the thing about today, Harry, was if we go back to our fundamental news, with Bernanke speaking, yeah. And remember, guys, there are other more stable currencies out there that are not as affected. I want to share this one with you guys. One I like a lot is the Euro GBP. Now, it's a Euro chart, right? But remember the following. The Euro dollar and the GBP are closely correlated. Hold on, David. I'll come back to you in a second, David. Are closely correlated. So even though there was a lot of huge movements in the euro today, the pound also had huge movements. Let me show you. British pound today, 15-minute chart. Same kind. Look at this spiking action going on in the British pound also. 50, 60 pips. That last spike, there it is on the British pound as well. Now let me go back to the Euro GBP. So they're both spiking, but because they're closely related, the overall movement is not as drastic. Look at here. Today's overall movement was only 76 pips on the Euro GBP. A lot more stable. Even with that, you're still getting a little spiking going on because, but look at the size of the spike. That spike is only 23 pips instead of 50 pips as it was over on the euro dollar.
Sell signal occurred.
So you may still get some spikes, but you see the difference. So easier trading. When you get crazy days like that, guys, I would drop back down to that trade right there. In relation to the videos on Rubicon Indicator, David, don't forget, you can always do the following. Please remember, right here, you have full screen.
No, here's one here.
Click on full screen, and there's your video.
Last one.
Okay?
Here's your entry point. It just ticks through.
All right, David. Doing the best I can for you. So all you got to do, David, one more time, or anybody for that matter, when you go to the videos, right here, you can bring it out onto YouTube full screen. Just click there, and that'll give you it on full screen. Okay. Art is asking a question about spread. What currency do you mean, Art? What is the usual spread? What currency? Depends on your broker, but normally about 3 pips. 75 to 79. Right now, about 3.5 pips right there. Somewhere between, depending on how good your broker is, but it's usually around 3 pips, Art. So not a whole lot different than the euro dollar. You pay 1 pip more, but as you can see, pretty darn stable. Let's look at the 5-minute. There's the 15-minute chart on that. As she comes down today, 15-minute chart gives you a very nice 15 pip drop right there. Now, the other thing with the Euro GBP, Art's going on about spread. I'm going to, actually, this is back to money management. Let me say something. Most retail traders, beginning traders, look for spread and place unbelievable emphasis on the spread. Now, don't get me wrong. I like a tight spread. It just makes life easier. But that is not, and I repeat, that is not the critical thing. Execution is the critical thing. I want to give you a very good example. 8 years ago, I'm sure it was 7 or 8 years ago, I was responsible for a group called the Golden Gate Forex Traders Group, a group of 300 traders. I was the president of that group in San Francisco. As such, I negotiated a deal with a broker called Owanda. And I thought I was doing both myself and my fellow traders an incredible thing because I negotiated. I told Owanda there were 300 of us and at least 200 were trading. And they offered us a spread of half a pip on the euro dollar. And I'm like, I am the best negotiator and trader on the planet. And my group loved what I just did until we started